you're dealing with a lot of different United States, too. I can think of at least 4 or 5 different United States. One is we want trade. A second is we want cheap imports, things that are cheap for consumers. A third is we want to make sure that we have peace and safety. A fourth is we want to make sure Taiwan is free. How do we take all of those things and kind of add them up? What should be the driving goal in everything we talk to? Because we talk to so many people on the show who say, yeah, we just need to talk to the Chinese and make it easier. The other is we need to ban TikTok. What's the U.S.
Here's my view is. My view is creating, one is redefine what deterrence is. On this show, as well as other shows, and in the United States, just public debate, we think of deterrence is what the Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier brings. I would tell you when the president brought the leaders of Japan and Korea together at Camp David in August, a historic trilateral meeting, that's deterrence. When the United States economy is growing at a pace and China is shrinking, not growing at the pace it used to, and the spread between the United States and China is growing, that's deterrence. When, in fact, there's capital fleeing and Chinese middle-class families and others are fleeing, that's deterrence. And having a more global approach and saying there's a cost to the choices you're making. Now, you took hundreds of millions of people out of poverty, but you didn't do it. The international system you were a part of allowed you to do it. Now, if you want to turn your back on it and you think raw exercise of power and intellectual property theft and economic espionage is the way you're going to go, we're not participating in it. And that's exactly clear, not just the United States. Brazil, a member of BRICS, just told China, I'm taking you to the WTO. Thailand did that. EU did that. The world is organized. So the principal strategy with China, their entire strategy, their most persistent and pernicious economic strategy is coercion to achieve political ends. Their goal is to isolate Japan, isolate in Australia, isolate the Philippines. Right. No, we're all coming together. You're going to be the isolated party. Now, either you participate in a system that helped you raise poverty, and rather eliminate poverty in your country, bring people into the middle class, or you're going to return, which is what you're doing to your youth, with a 30% unemployment. You have a choice to make, and we're ready to work with you and have you be part of a system that helped you grow economically, or you can turn your back on it. Right. But when you do that, you're the isolated party, and there's cost and consequences which result in a lost generation of Chinese youth. You make the choice.